How are schools funded? Well, that's a very complicated topic, so let's try to break it down. About 88% of funding for BSD comes from the state's school fund. The state also provides grants for specific programs or initiatives like career technical education or early literacy. We also receive federal funds for things like nutrition services, special education, and Title I schools. A title school has a high proportion of students experiencing poverty. BSD is also fortunate to have a voter-approved local option levy that pays for about 300 teachers. And BSD voters have approved a $723 million bond. Those funds can only be used for capital improvement projects, such as facilities and technology. Those are the different pools of money, but how are the operating funds distributed? Well, not all BSD schools receive the same amount of money per student. In this district, we have something called a Staffing Allocation Methodology, or SAM for short. It gives money to support schools based on the number of students and the demographics of those students. So schools that have more students experiencing poverty, learning English as a second language, or in special education programs receive more funds. Schools receive staffing based on how many students are enrolled and more resources to better support students with higher needs. At the same time, BSD has made some other decisions that impact our budget, particularly when we're talking about smaller elementary schools. Currently, BSD has committed to giving every elementary school, regardless of the number of students, its own designated music and PE teacher, even though the school really should only be allocated a part-time teacher based on its smaller student population. The same is true for other staff like school counselors, social workers, and principals. We've also been making sure that there's at least 2 teachers at each grade level in elementaries so that those teachers and their instruction benefit from collaboration. Even though, again, based on the school's small student population, it really should only have 1 teacher at some grade levels or blended classrooms to balance class sizes. These practices have resulted in some uneven spending. Let's take a look at the budget for the 2024-2025 school year. School A is a title school. It has around 220 students. Its allocation for this school year was $21,817 per student. School B is also a Title I school, but it's larger with around 690 students. Its allocation was $14,317 per student. Now let's take a look at non-title elementary schools. School C has about 290 students with an allocation of $14,571 per student, and School D has around 560 students with an allocation of $11,085 per student. Under our current allocation methodology, size does matter, and schools with smaller student populations are more costly to run. The question for our district to consider is this: do we continue to subsidize our smaller schools with extra staff, or do we adopt a new model that's more financially sustainable? We want to hear from you on this topic, so please feel free to leave us a comment on the Engage BSD website.